Good evening. The Monday, May 13th, 2024 meeting is now called to order. Madam Secretary, roll call.
All wonderful board members are present and accounted for.
Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The next portion of our meeting is our presentation portion, and I did want to let you know after each group of students is recognized, you are more than welcome. We'll pause a little bit so that group of students and their families can leave. Up first, we have our young artists, Ms. Rice.
Good evening. Welcome. Thank you, members of the board. I'm so happy to be here tonight. I am pleased to be here to celebrate our Young Artist Award recipients. So you may not know, just twice a year, all 15 of our schools identify one student, and they submit their artwork to be recognized and to be hung in our public meeting room on display for all of the guests and community members to enjoy over the course of the 6 months. So it truly is an honor to be recognized as one of our young artists. Before I announce all the names, however, I do just want to recognize that we have many of our art teachers in the back there, and this would not be possible without their work and passion and dedication. So with that, young artists, as you hear your name called, you will come forward, and I think you'll get your certificate from either Dr. Ostrike or Mr. McMichael. And then if you would, just gather in front of the dais up here, and we'll take some photos of the group, and then you'll be excused after that. Okay. Oh, yes, and if you would, hold your applause till the end. Yes. First up, we have Alex Miller, first grade from Carmel Elementary.
Are the pictures already behind you?
Yes, they sure are.
Could you point when you tell us like who it is, if you can figure it out? Carmel at the end?
They're not necessarily in order. Hopefully you can see.
The right side? Well, actually, if you just say the school, then we can look. It'll be like I Spy.
Exactly. I Spy. I like that. Joyce Dew, 10th grade from Carmel High School. And that's in the bottom in the middle.
It's like a game. Thank you.
Sure. Marcus Moffitt, 8th grade from Carmel Middle School. Ford Wright, 4th grade from Cherry Tree Elementary. Evelyn Cheng, kindergarten from Clay Center Elementary. Clay Center. Lexi France, 6th grade, Clay Middle School. Oh. Sophia Kim, 1st grade, College Wood Elementary. Kayla Peters, 8th grade, Creekside Middle School. Mia Bueno, 5th grade, Forest Dale Elementary. Savannah Horrell, 5th grade, Mohawk Trails Elementary. Darshu Nudapati, 2nd grade, Prairie Trace Elementary. Joyce Abdelnour, 5th grade, Smoky Row Elementary. Emery Gunn, 2nd grade, Town Meadow Elementary. Sylvie Bolster, 3rd grade, West Clay Elementary. And Evie Lernahan, second grade from Woodbrook Elementary. These are our Young Artist recipients. Yes, and after Emily takes a picture, and you will have chance to take your photos as well.
And again, parents of the young artists, you are welcome to stay, but we are going to take a brief break if you need to leave and get home since it's a school night.
There is a backdrop in the hallway if you guys would like to take any pictures outside.
That was funny. I didn't want poor Ramona to be trying to. That is a great picture.
For our next presentations, we will recognize the Carmel High School students from Highlight, The Pinnacle, CHTV, and WHJE. Mrs. Ramos.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Terry Ramos, and I am very lucky to be the department chair for media and communications at the high school. We do have 4 programs at the high school, and you'll hear from each of those advisors in just a moment. But I want to take a moment and thank the board for having us, and the administration, of course, for your continued support of our program and everything that we do. We truly appreciate this moment. Thank you to our students and parents, of course. Parents, when the kids were younger in 9th grade or so, and you had to drive them all over to different events and spend a lot of time kind of carting kids around, or maybe even purchasing technology, because our department is rich in technology, and those kids, they want to try new things. Thank you so much for that parental support along the way. And our students, you are amazing. You know that I love all of you, and I love seeing your shining faces out there smiling back at me. And this is your moment to enjoy and shine for everything that you've done over the years. And then finally, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention 4 amazing teachers who are here tonight. Everybody knows that teachers spend a lot of time grading. Our teachers grade a lot, but our teachers also go way beyond that as they cover events with their students. They do all sorts of things that go way beyond anything that a lot of our wonderful teachers do. So thank you guys for everything that you put into this. And it's my pleasure to go ahead and bring up the first of those teachers, Mr. Jim Streisel, and he will be presenting for the highlight.
Good evening, and thank you for this opportunity to recognize some outstanding accomplishments from this year's Highlight News team. Of note, the Highlight has been in continuous operation since 1935. During that time, the Highlight has gone through many iterations, from biweekly broadsheet print newspapers to tabloid-sized and later smaller-sized news magazines. While the Highlight website began in 1996, during the past 2 years, the Highlight has operated exclusively online. Regardless of format, the Highlight team has continued to provide in-depth, authoritative, and robust news coverage for the Carmel High School student body. This commitment to excellence is evidenced by the continuous stream of annual awards the staff has earned. In addition to a large number of individual awards, this year's whole staff state and national awards are as follows. First, from the Indiana High School Press Association, the staff earned a Hoosier Star Award for websites. This website-specific award is in just its 3rd year, and the Highlight has earned an IHSPA Hoosier Star, equivalent to a state championship, in each of those 3 consecutive years. Including both web and print, the Highlight has been a Hoosier Star finalist for 22 consecutive years and has won the award in 18 of those years. Second, from the Columbia Scholastic Press Association, the Highlight earned a Gold Crown in the website division. The Highlight has earned a CSPA crown in 15 of the past 16 years. This includes 11 gold crowns, the CSPA's highest honor. Finally, from the National Scholastic Press Association, the Highlight was named a Pacemaker finalist in its online news category. The NSPA Pacemaker is often called the Pulitzer Prize of scholastic journalism because of its prestige. This marks the 16th consecutive year the Highlight has been named a Pacemaker finalist, either in web, print, or both. The Highlight has won the Pacemaker Award 10 times each for web and print during that time. On behalf of the entire 60-plus student Highlight staff, I'd like to recognize the following senior management team members for their team's accomplishments. And to hold your applause until they've all gotten through. First, I will recognize Addison Joyce, who cannot be here tonight. She has a tennis commitment. But the rest of the team is here, starting with managing editor Siri Viracetti. Next, we have Lorna Ding. Next is Kent Fujita. I'm excited to recognize Kate Loper. We also have managing editor Maggie Meyer. Managing Editor Eddie Sun. And our final Managing Editor, Ryan Zhang. This year's team also had 2 editors-in-chief. First is Royce Brown, who coincidentally is this year's distinguished grad. Yeah. And finally, Editor-in-Chief Grace Guo.
Thank you to all of our students and to Mr. Streisel. A round of applause for all of these amazing students. Our next teacher to present is Ms. Claire Burke for our yearbook, the Pinnacle Yearbook. Come on up.
Good evening to Dr. Beresford and the board. I guess not Dr. Beresford, he is not here. Dr. Ostrike, great. Just reading what's in front of me, so, you know. Thank you for allowing us to be here and recognize the outstanding work done by the Pinnacle Yearbook staff this year. As Mr. Streisel mentioned, the Pinnacle, well, I should say, we've been a Hoosier Star finalist and a winner for these past 3 years. That all of these seniors have been on staff. So they are all members of that, high school journalism championship award-winning team as well. This past year's book was also nominated, or I guess critiqued by the National Scholastic Press Association, received a first-class rating, which is right at the top of what NSPA puts out. So safe to say that the staff is being recognized on the state and national level for their professionalism and hard work. We have lots of senior editors to recognize this year for their 3 years on the Pinnacle staff. And I'm just going to go in alphabetical order here. So we'll start with Anna Amore, one of our managing editors. Jessica Barrett from Reference. Akshita Binji from in the People section. Lexi Bunting, one of our social media managers. Elle Engelman in sports. Grayson Erickson, a managing editor. I believe she is at softball this evening. Kira Hacker, editor-in-chief. Amanda Hine, social media manager. Avi Hull in Reference. Allison Miller in the Student Life and Academics section. Caroline Miller, design manager. Maya Nakar, editor-in-chief. Olivia Rife in reference. I believe she is also otherwise occupied this evening. Yep. Anna Rodriguez Garza in the Student Life and Academics section. And last but not least, Karishma Sankar in the Senior Ad section. So these outstanding students design and create the yearbook from top to bottom. They take every photo, they write every caption, every single thing that you see in that book is the product of these hardworking senior editors. In addition, 2 seniors were named to the Diana Hadley Journalism Honor Roll through the Indiana High School Press Association. Congratulations to Kira Hacker and Maya Nakar on this recognition. This came through after we sent in our stuff for certificates, so sorry about that. The Honor Roll recognizes these students across the state who uphold and exhibit IHSPA's core values of truth, courage, integrity, and freedom, and these 2 join about 45 students across the state to earn this honor. So congratulations. Yep.
Sorority squat. You're next, right? Our next teacher is Mrs. Brandy Stojic with CHTV.
Hello, thanks for having us tonight. Thanks to the board for all their time to honor all of these students. Like Terry said, my name is Brandy Stojic. I'm the advisor for our TV station at the high school, CHTV. This year, students once again wrote, filmed, edited, and posted hundreds of videos, web stories, and social media for our station. So from our social media on several platforms to live announcements broadcast to nearly 6,000 people, to our massive YouTube viewership, to our growing website, all the students of CHTV should be proud because TV is clearly a team sport. With that being said, I'm excited to recognize our staff members who are here and those who could not be here tonight. Before I officially begin, I wanted to mention a few first place regional awards that were won after emails went out for the meeting. Jessica Din and Rebecca Lee, who are not here tonight, both won Student Production Awards at the Central Great Lake chapter for the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, which is more commonly known as the Emmys. So this is our first 2 Emmy wins, which is awesome, so congratulations to them. And then for our folks that are here tonight, we were also honored to win several first place national awards at the 2024 Intercollegiate Broadcasting System Awards in New York City. Hundreds of high school and college students from all across the country go to this conference. It's right in the heart of downtown. Students attend sessions on everything from script writing to marketing to anchoring to editing. Of course, students also got to experience the excitement and culture of New York City as well. It is just our second year of winning any national awards at all, and we won more awards this year than ever before. So we'd like to welcome up, first off, Jack Ringenberg. Ava Lau. Caroline Petrie. Tally Wright. Addie Madril. Coyer Paradise. Josh Melby. Deshaun Barnes. Casey Stevens. And Noah Bedoris. CHTV was also excited to win first place in our state contest, the Indiana Association of School Broadcasters, or IASB. And our winners in that are Jack Ringenberg. And finally, before I hand it off to our friends in radio, both CHTV and WHJE were happy to share a first place award for emerging media at IASB. So 3 of our joint CHTV WHJE staff members will accept this award. So Casey Stevens, Maiza Munn, and Gigi Welp.
Before our next program recognition, I have a very special announcement to make. Once upon a time, we, in radio and television, were going to IASB, which is our state organization, conference and awards. And a few years back, Mr. Dominic James decided that we really needed to get involved at the national level. And so we did. And that is the trip that we make every year to New York to take students and staff to that awards and conference. This past year, not only everything that Mrs. Stojic said about CHTV, and you're going to hear a little bit about WHJE here in just a moment, but we also get to say that Mr. Dominic James is the National Teacher of the Year for radio.
Uh,
He's a showman, so just get ready for this in a second. But I can hang. So he is a really, really hard worker, is he not? He gives everything to these kids. He never tells these kids no for any idea that they come up with. He's an amazing teacher. So thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you. It's lovely to have that award, but I know that I'm the main radio teacher, but the three other communications teachers also teach radio in some way. Brandy Ostojic and Jim Streisel ground the kids in the first years, and many of the kids coming up tonight were taught by them in their freshman year, so thank you. And Claire Burke came with us to New York to make sure that could happen. So I need to thank them, but also we are incredibly well supported by our departmental chair, Terry Ramos, who supports both the staff but also the students unbelievably, and she spends so much time helping him as well. So thank you very much. I also would like to thank the board as well. And I'm going to throw some numbers out. We've kind of got more numbers, or exceeded numbers from previous years this year than ever before. This year we actually have 106 staff members. And back in 1963, there probably been 20, 25 members of staff. Now we have 106, and there are about 80 freshman students as well. So we've got nearly 200 students doing radio, which is extraordinary. But the toll on the booths, when you've got 100 kids a day going through the booths, the toll on those booths is extraordinary. And I'd like to thank the board for making sure that we've got a complete refit this summer. So thank you very much. We will continue to make things happen. So thank you for that support and funding. More numbers. We've got 106 students, and many of them made significant contributions to us winning the award that Brandy just presented. But we also became second in state for just a radio station. We were first in the nation for our radio website, and we were the first radio station in the nation for the third time in 4 years again. So we are the station of the nation once again. So that's fantastic. We're going to recognize students who got actually individual awards from those things. And we actually have 24 individual students who are state or national champions this year. So that's an extraordinary number. I think we've had 5 was our largest number we've ever had for state awards. And I think 21 was the largest number we've ever had for national awards. So we're exceeding those numbers. We have exceeded the amount of money we've raised this year. We do a radiothon in the fall to help raise money for the station, to get extra equipment, to make sure that sports broadcasts and things like that can exist. And we've raised more money than ever before, so well done to these guys. One of the most important things we do, we are a community radio station. We're not just Carmel High School's radio station. We are the only station in Carmel and the surrounding areas. We do take that responsibility seriously. And every year we now do a Riley-thon, a fundraiser for Riley. And this year we raised over $17,000 in 2 days, which is incredible. So thank you everybody who helped us to do that. So that's it really. An amazing bunch of statistics from everybody, and congratulations to you. I think there are only 11 of the 24 here tonight. We actually got 3 of them in the radio station broadcasting right now, and we've actually got 4 different award ceremonies over this week, so I can appreciate that they can't make every single thing tonight. So thank you. I'm not sure how many we've got here, Roger, but let's see who we've got. Okay. I'll read out the names. I know we're here. Ella McElroy, our events manager. Casey Stevens, also events manager. They've done a fantastic job raising all that money between them, getting everybody involved. Livy Grimes, best radio show in state and nation, as with Paulina Arana, best radio station in the nation and in the state. Very well done. Gigi Welp, our news manager, her department bagged virtually every award it's possible to get at state and national level, so well done, Gigi. Walker Lasbury, an amazing production engineer, He's got lots of awards for his promotions and promos and things like that. Brooks White does everything. He's one of our managers. He's also an extraordinarily talented sports broadcaster. Well done, Brooks. Aidan Hageman, one of our sports managers, and won the accolade as sports manager in the nation this year. We broadcast about 140 sports live events every year, which is extraordinary. Moving on, we have Luke King. He's our blog manager and a fantastic live broadcaster as well. And while most of these guys are juniors and seniors, we have one sophomore who won a national award this year, Riley Alderman, as well. I've just seen one of our news broadcasters has just come in at the back, Leah Mackay. And I think that's everybody I've seen. Give me a wave if there's anybody else in the back there. Congratulations to all of you. You've been absolutely fabulous.
We will now move on to public comment. As a reminder, participants must be recognized by the presiding officer and must preface their comments by announcement of their name and group affiliation if applicable. Comments may not reference specific corporation employees, patrons, or students. Comments shall be directed to the board. No person may address or question individual board members. The school board will not act on or respond to questions or comments made during public comment, but will take them under advisement. Tonight, we have one person signed up to speak, and as a reminder, you have 3 minutes to speak. We have a timer that will be up. Is it up?
It's just on the dais. It'll be a green light to go.
Okay.
A yellow light for, I think it's a 30-second warning,
Yes,
and red
30
to stop.
seconds. Yes. We have Kirsten Kovalevsky.
I am here tonight to talk about Carmel Clay School's school libraries. I want to say I saw that once again, CCS has made a outstanding impression for the public schools here. And a large part of that, it's maybe not obvious at first, is due to the outstanding school library media program here. School library media programs, they go out into every part of a school, and professional school media specialists are instructional coaches, they're teachers, they work with all kinds of students, members of the community, one-on-one and small groups, collaborating. It's amazing the number of things that they do. In addition to being out in the classrooms and around in the community, helping to promote literacy, building thoughtful collections, a school library program has a center, and that is the library. And we are very lucky to have staff and volunteers who go out of their way to make the library programs here work. Having worked in a one-woman shop to try and run a school library without that kind of help and still be able to leave the library to help teachers and students in their classrooms is nearly impossible. You get a choice. You have someone who can run the school library in the center, or you get someone who can go out to the classrooms. And without someone there to be in that library, staff or volunteer, the school library specialist who is a professional who is trained to help is not able to do that. So I just want to say I appreciate everything that goes on to make the school media programs here that are as exceptional as they are, something that helps to make CCS as exceptional as it is.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. As always, we thank the community for participating in our meetings. Next up this evening is our consent. And as usual, this is kind of that part of our meeting that is the section where we have routine items that are put together so we can efficiently consider them and approve them. And a lot of times these are, the meat of what we have to approve. That's payroll, accounts payable, personnel reports, and those kinds of things. Tonight, it includes a personnel report, claims, payroll, gift applications, and the April 15th, April 16th, April 22nd, and April 29th school board minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the consent items?
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Seeing none, we will now vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We will move on to our action items and oh, that's right, yes, sorry. Dr. Ostrike would like to say a couple words.
Thank you very much. With tonight's approval of the consent agenda, I'm excited to share that our new assistant principal at Town Meadow Elementary School is our very own Katie Blake. Mrs. Blake has served in Carmel Clay Schools, she's in the back there, for 13 years as an elementary classroom teacher at Town Meadow Elementary School, and most recently as our instructional coach at Forestdale Elementary School. Katie is a master teacher, and her knowledge of curriculum and instruction, along with her ability to foster a positive learning environment and work environment for teachers and students, stood out in the interview process. Katie earned her bachelor's degree from Indiana University in Bloomington and earned her master's degree at National Louis University in Illinois in curriculum and instruction, along with obtaining her principal license through Ball State University. Katie is joined tonight by her husband, Nick, along with her 2 boys, Dylan, who attends Creekside Middle School, and Drew, who attends West Clay Elementary School. I want to make sure to give Dylan and Drew a shout out tonight. So congratulations to Katie, and we are very excited that she will be serving in this new role.
Welcome, Katie. Thank you for being here tonight. And we are going to move on to our action items at this time. Our first action item is the materials adoption. Dr. Ostrike.
Thank you very much, President Koke. On April 15th, Dr. Dudley, our Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum, Instruction, and Assessment, presented our materials adoption during the discussion item portion of that board meeting. We are bringing this item back as an action item tonight to recommend that the board approve the materials adoption that was presented last month. This materials adoption covers literacy, grades K through 5, science, grades 6 through 12, and advanced math courses, along with several elective classes at Carmel High School. Additionally, I wanted to share big picture tonight with the board and the community about our curricular materials adoption as a whole. And the materials review may be slightly different from program to program. However, it really depends on the availability of the options, programming needs, or even the Indiana Department of Education requirements. Now, the curriculum adoption starts the year prior with program evaluation. So this has been going on for a year at least. During program evaluation, a committee of teachers and administrators review the current program K through 12. This review works to build a collective understanding of our current program and identify areas for growth. The committee reviews program data, the Indiana academic standards, state program requirements, feedback from focus groups, and research and best practice related to that program of study. Throughout the process, the committee identifies strengths, needs, and challenges of the current program and then develops program evaluation recommendations, which we are bringing to you tonight. The following year, then, a materials adoption committee is formed. This committee studies the program evaluation findings and recommendations and develops a tool for evaluating materials based upon those evaluation findings and recommendations. Also, they're based upon the Indiana academic standards and other requirements by the Indiana Department of Education. The committee does a first review of available materials using that tool to narrow down the different options to 2 or 3 top choices. The committee then does a deeper dive into the top options, which often includes presentations from the publishers of the program. Teachers on the committee may go back and test out some of the lessons in their classroom to get a better understanding of how program design and delivery occurs during this time. As the committee continues to learn about those program options, they work through a consensus process until the top 1 or 2 programs are identified. These top programs are then taken back to the buildings to preview and or provide additional information to the committee. So there's a lot of feedback that goes back and forth amongst the educators. During our community preview night, which we had here in this room, members of our community can come and preview the program, review materials, ask questions of committee members who are on hand, and then they also can provide feedback during that evening. The committee synthesizes all the information from the entire process in totality and then makes a final recommendation to the CCS board, which we are doing this evening. Based upon what Dr. Dudley presented at last month's meeting, as well as the work from our teachers and administrators over the last years, I recommend that the board approve the materials adoption as presented.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the new course proposal?
So moved.
May I have a second? Second. Any discussion? Jennifer?
Dr. Ostrich, I'd like to thank you for presenting the process. I know we have discussed it several times over the years that I've been on the board, but as new crops of students and families come into the district, it's always nice for them to become familiar with that process as well. Is this information outlined anywhere on our website so that people can access it if they have a question and they haven't been privy to this discussion?
Absolutely. So we have listed up on the screen under our curriculum program on the website, it talks about the entire process, curriculum in action, if you go to the website. And it talks about the entire process of adoption and how we go about that. Additionally, Mrs. Nobis, if you scroll down a little bit, once the maps are approved by the board, anyone in the community, anyone anywhere can go, if you scroll down, you can go and see all of the curriculum, grades 5 through 12, and select any of the core subjects there and take a look at the curriculum that is available. And sometimes there'll be links, there'll be a description, but most importantly, if a parent has any questions about any of the curriculum or the text or anything like that, that conversation starts at the classroom with the classroom teacher. And then we go through that process, and then if it does get bigger than what can be solved at the classroom level, then we do have board policy, and then we can follow that as well.
Any other discussion? Greg?
Yeah, yeah, I appreciate the seeing the process too. We had talked about that before the meeting with Dr. Dudley. I had some conversations, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate the open house. I wish more members in the community would come and take advantage of that. I did talk to some community members, and also did my own delving into it, and there's a lot to see. Open house isn't really good enough to get too deep into it, but I went through some of the curriculum, and I would say I have mixed feelings on it. Some of the materials I think are excellent, and there's a lot of I like the idea that you can teach parents can pick from a list of books for that they could read at home with their children. So there's homework assignments that kind of dovetails with whatever's being talked about. What I really was focusing on was the elementary literacy section, which caught my eye, K through 5. And there were some items in there that, although there's a lot I liked, there were some things that I was not comfortable with. And specifically, there's when I think of literacy, I think mostly of reading and writing. I know it's not just that, but it's primarily reading and writing. But some of the modules, not all, but some of the modules had videos in them, like 20-minute videos and other shorter ones. And I found it presenting like a narrative, a one-sided kind of narrative of something. Then I found some books that went right along with it that were available to choose from. And I think that's not where we want to be. I think reviewing our policies, we have some very specific policies that talk about not trying to persuade students to a particular point of view, encouraging open-mindedness, and conducting it in a spirit of scholarly inquiry. So that makes me think of critical thinking. I know it's one of our principles to let our young minds be presented all sides of bits of history as an example, and to be able to process that and come to their own conclusions rather than when they only hear one side of a narrative. So I struggle with that, and I didn't find that completely pervasive in the materials, but particularly at the earlier ages, and also found some that I thought were the topics maybe not age appropriate. And then I did a little bit of research outside of this material, and there's some similar conclusions in other school districts across the nation with this particular material. So those are my concerns with it. Like I said, there's a lot of things I like about it, but there's a few elements I'm pretty concerned with.
Could you be specific? Are you there are history elements of the literature curriculum that you feel like were
Yeah, mostly
or
history and some others.
Could
And
you be specific?
I don't want to get into all the details because it would take a lot of time to discuss it. It's just my personal evaluation, and I know critical thinking is a big issue a big challenge in our schools and our teachers, trying to make sure we have an open minded view of all kinds of bits of history and other topics, arts and stuff. So I don't know. I felt that it could have been done a little more comprehensively rather than in more of a single narrative. Just a few pieces. Some of them I thought did a nice job with being more comprehensive.
Just one do you have one example that you could give to us
I
that I
just-
can go back
yeah.
and look at it
If I
after
could find,
tonight?
if you could tell us where to find this piece, because I think, we like to have discourse in the public eye.
Yeah,
So
and I think the
I would
entire
like to
board would
check
like
that
to-
out, because,
yeah.
inquiry-based mindset is very important to me.
Yeah, I
So
know
if we're
that,
going to,
yes.
if we're going against that, I would like to know where you saw that, because
Well, has anyone else looked at the
yeah.
materials?
Yeah,
Every-
so I think what would be helpful, this is the first time you're bringing this to us, and we are all want to be acknowledged, so if you,
Sure.
could you share some specific concerns?
I would like, yeah, because maybe we could pull it up, or at least
It
We
would
could-
be, I don't have the details with me. I got the details, some links just recently, so I didn't have a time to, maybe you guys didn't have a chance to look at it either, but,
I wasn't concerned, but I think I care deeply about what your thoughts are. So if there are some history pieces where we feel like they're one-sided or misrepresented of like what actually took place, I want to go and confirm that I wasn't missing something, overlooking something. So
uh, why don't I, and I've just, times have been tight for me, and I got the links kind of late in the process. It's a lot of material, so I spent a lot of time going through it.
yeah,
So what we could do is I could provide some examples.
yeah. Thank you.
I can also share that Wit and Wisdom, the literacy through the K-5, that is one of the 5 programs that has been approved by the Department of Education that connects with the science of reading. So we're very happy that we've selected something that focuses on the science of reading, as that is one of the 5 programs. Additionally, what I like is that at each unit, there's a module page that will rip out of the book and that the parents can have before every unit. And in that module, it shares every single text that they're going to be reading. It also shares guiding questions in there that the teacher will be asking the students in the classroom. So if a specific parent does have a concern, they can certainly take that up with the teacher, and I love the transparency about that,
So-
they can do that.
So they get that part of the section before the
Before they
module.
start,
Okay.
yes. So if there's a parent that has a concern about an individual text, they can contact the teacher. And we currently have this practice in place that if for whatever reason they don't want their child reading that text, we also can look at an alternate text for that area so that we're covering the standard through that text. So the most important thing is we're connecting the Indiana academic standards. We're teaching those in class while we're also teaching the literacy portion for that grade level.
That does make sense now that you're talking about, I have a first grader, and that is typically what we get. The similar thing is at the beginning of a literacy or a math unit, I'll get a stapled, usually it's a little packet, detailing what they are going to start talking about either that week or the next following days. So that makes sense.
Yeah, and I recall too with my 2 children getting something, especially when it was like social studies, history, if they thought there were sensitive materials or subjects, they let me know. So either I could talk more in detail with them, or if I wanted to say, oh, that's a sensitive topic, I don't know that I want my children reviewing that kind of thing, I appreciated the heads up. The last piece I'll share is I remember us doing, I think it was that last year? Oh my gosh, time flies. Last year, remember when they came in and talked to us about our social studies program and how we were up-leveling it, and we had some examples, like some different case studies or
It was a workshop topic.
it was a workshop top, and I was so excited about that. So that's why I was just like, man, if there's something in here that I missed, I want to know about it.
Well, I just want to, real quick, carry on as I have a current 7th grader and a current 10th grader, and really, like, COVID got us, like, the train moving fast as Canvas. As a parent, there is more information than I ever could possibly. I love to see exactly what they're talking about in the classroom. I love to see that you can log into your students, you can have your parent, you can see what the article is, you can see this, and it really allows you as a parent to, next best thing than sitting right next to them, which I'm sure my kids would love, is to have me follow them around high school, to really kind of see what's going on in that classroom. And so I really love that, is you can view everything that they have access to.
Yeah, I'm a fellow helicopter
Yes.
mom, so you can go in Canvas and look at all their lessons for sure. I've done that with mine.
And
And
so
if-
thank you to the teachers who put in all the effort. So 1,000%, because there's a lot of information in there.
And to clarify, as you were saying, Dr. Ostrike, the wit and wisdom that was chosen is part of, you said 5 that were
Approved.
choices approved by the Department of Education.
Correct, Indiana Department of Education.
Okay, seeing no more discussion, we will take a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
President, I would like to make a motion to take the change orders all together. So you would explain them, but then we would vote together. So,
So I'll talk about each of them and then let Mr. McMichael explain further.
but can we do a motion first, and then we
Yes,
can go ahead?
yes.
So I have a motion to take the change orders 5.2,
5.3 and 5.4.
3, and 5.4. So if you guys want to do that, I need a second, and we need to vote.
May I have a second? And now, so now we're going to discuss the action items are, for the change orders, are the bid award for the Carmel High School Greyhound Activity Center.
We still need to vote, and then we
Oh.
can do it. And this is just to vote to do them together.
Okay.
Then
we
we
have to
would-
vote to do them in order.
Yes,
Oh, goody.
yes. So we just need to vote to do
Okay.
them together, and then we can talk about
All in
them.
favor of doing the change orders all together, all 3 change orders, 5.2, 5.3, and 5.4. We will discuss them all at one time. So Mr. McMichael only has to
Got it.
speak once. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 This has nothing to do with the air conditioning not working. All right, thank you for doing that, thank you. Okay, now on to.
I'm just going to explain 5.2, 5.3, and 5.4, and then I'll turn it over to you, Mr. McMichael.
Thank you.
5.2 is the bid award for the Carmel High School Greyhound Activity Center. 5.3 is the action item for change orders to the Carmel High School natatorium addition and existing natatorium renovations. And 5.4 is the bid award for West Clay Elementary interior renovations. Mr. McMichael.
Thank you. I'll start with the activity center change order. It's in the amount. It's an ad change order in totaling $155,383. It's primarily for 2 major things. One is we're reorienting the track area for it's an area part of the track program to I believe it's to throw like discus and so forth, because we originally thought it was going to go from like east to west, and decided it would be better to go west to east. So that involves some redesign, and that's part of this. And there's more detail in your report. And then the second one is going through the process with the city for approvals. They noted that we're required. One, we have a dumpster in that area, and dumpsters in Carmel have to be enclosed, and so there's a cost associated with that, and the dumpster wasn't in the original specifications. So these are all items that are needed, and we do have the sufficient contingency to provide for the cost. The second change order is for the natatorium, and again, it's $21,264. And it has to do with installing some expansion joints that were in the existing building, which were missed in the original scope. And then the third one is my favorite. It's a deduct change order in the amount of $13,965, and it had to do with we asked for a change in some of the air circulation, I believe, and so or some flooring, I'm sorry. And so those are the 3 change orders.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve change orders 5.2, 5.3, and 5.4?
So moved.
Second.
Second. Any discussion?
Just wanted to point out that, as Roger mentioned, this is an important, I think, item to realize when we're looking at change orders. They can be very large amounts, like the $155,000, but we don't always know everything when we're doing plans, and so it's important to realize that we're okay with that. It's still it's covered by the contingency budget, and I think that's important to understand where we are with the budget line. We're approving more monies, but it's okay because it's within our expectations of the project, so I appreciate that.
We will now take a vote on those change orders, 5.2, 5.3, and 5.4. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Next up, we have reports. We will begin with the monthly financial update. Mr. McMichael.
Thank you. So first, I'll go through our education and operating referendum and rainy day funds. We combine those because they're used for similar purposes, and particularly the education and the operating referendum. So we're 3 months in. We will compare to the prior year. However, in this case, it's difficult to make the comparison to where it is not otherwise misleading, because this year, in this year, we are doing a transfer, and you've heard me talk about that before, from about $17.7 million from our education fund to the operations fund to cover the cost of operational expenses that previously were permitted when it was the general fund, but when it was changed to education fund, we had to change that. And so that's reflected here. If you take that into account, and the fact that we also transferred some money from our operations to the rainy day fund, as was planned, to increase our cash balance. And so when you take those two factors, by the first 3 months, we're essentially in line with where we would project. We're showing a 9.4 cash balance by the end of March, and again, that would be substantial. As you can see, last year it was right at $2 million. But when you factor in the changes I described, then we're right on target with where we would expect to be at this time. We'll do those transfers, by the way, in June and then again in December. Then it'll be really a clearer picture. In our operations fund, we're in the negative $6.4 million, which is not unusual. This fund is primarily supported with property tax, and now that $17 million of transfer, which we haven't made yet, but we are making the expenses as we do in our education fund in terms of paying salaries and so forth. And so because the revenue primarily comes twice a year, it's typical that we'll continue to run in the red until we get to June and May and June to get the tax draws and that transfer, and then it'll bring it back into the black. You can see this, it had a similar picture last year, although not as much, because again, we weren't doing the $17 million of transfers. And then the rainy day fund, the only thing we're using by design, we only are using the rainy day fund currently for the expense for the change in our evaluation program, which we've talked about previously. It's a fairly insignificant amount in terms of the total fund, but otherwise we include the rainy day fund and have cash there because that cash is also seen as similar to the cash in our cash balance for our education fund. And so importantly, when we sell bonds, Standard & Poor's sees it that way as well. And so that's why we include the rainy day fund, because it's a part of the overall cash balance for our day-to-day operating expenses. And with that, I'll respond to any questions that you might have.
Just a comment. I really like the format of the report, and it used to confuse me a bit when I noticed the lumpiness of revenues.
Yeah.
But if you look at the expenditures, it's you can look on the far right column and see that it's within the percentage of what we'd expect to spend at that point in time. So we just hold out for the state and the county to give us money, and it seems to work out.
Yes.
Next, we have the superintendent's report, today with Dr. Ostrike.
All right, thank you very much, President Coquet and members of the board. First of all, I'd like to start off by saying that Dr. Beresford and Dr. Dudley are out tonight being proud parents and family members of graduates from out of town. So Mr. McMichael and I especially look forward to them returning very soon. But we're glad that they're with their families and celebrating these great milestones in their families. So, and also, what a great night of celebrations. The future voices of radio, the faces of TV, the behind-the-scenes work, the future writers and print media and artists. Wow, we have some tremendous students here in the district. I'm very proud that we were able to celebrate them tonight. So let's start off with another huge accomplishment. Congratulations to senior Claire He. Her name's very well known at our school board meetings as she's received numerous recognitions, but this honor might be the most impressive as she was named a U.S. Presidential Scholar from Carmel High School. And so the Department of Education selects 2 top scholars from each state every single year, and Claire was selected from Carmel High School. Yeah, let's give her a round of applause. This is the 4th year in a row that one of the presidential scholars has been from Carmel High School, and last year we had both in the state of Indiana. So such an impressive feat. Claire has attended Carmel Clay Schools since she was in elementary school. So she's grown up with us, and we're very proud of her. She's planning on attending Columbia University to study economics philosophy, and we are very proud of her. So congratulations, Claire. Also, congratulations to our Carmel High School Symphony Orchestra and our Carmel High School Wind Symphony on bringing home the ISMA State Championship this year for concert orchestra and concert band. So the CHS Performing Arts Department made history this year by having 2 concert bands and 2 symphony orchestras make state finals. Just as an example, in orchestra, they only select 8 in the entire state and to make finals, and 2 of our orchestras were selected. And also, we had one of our choirs selected in state finals, the Ambassadors. So such an incredible feat, and we're very proud of the level of musicianship that occurs at Carmel High School, displayed by our students and their directors. Let's move on to the Tech Hounds. We got to see the Tech Hounds first and in person here at one of our board workshops, but they placed second in the Galileo division and won the Excellence in Engineering Award in the same division as at the World Championships for Robotics in April. So we're very proud of them as well. And then the DECA Club, which is our business club. They competed in the International Career Development Conference. We had 95 Greyhounds participate in 38 events. And a special congratulations to Hayden Warnicki and Nicholas Wu, who placed 3rd in the world. Let me say that again, 3rd in the world in their event of Sports and Entertainment Marketing Operation Research. So very proud of the DECA Club and also to Hayden and Nicholas. That's phenomenal. And then on Wednesday, I'll be there. We have a parent night on safety and well-being coming up this week. And so this is in response to the community survey regarding digital device usage that was highly successful. We had a lot of feedback from our parents. And so we hope everyone will join us on Wednesday, May 15th at 6:30 p.m. at Carmel Middle School. And our digital safety and mental health team have brought together 3 speakers for this first event, Raising Strong Minds in a Digital World. So it'll be great information for parents to be connected to their children when it comes to digital, the digital space, social media. I need to do the same with my son, so he may get a check when I get home tonight. Moving on. Oh, anyone planning or thinking about running for school board is encouraged to attend our prospective candidate seminar next week on May 21st at 10 a.m. Looks like we may have some members here tonight that may be in attendance, so we look forward to having you. This seminar is open to the public and will be an in-depth review of the roles and responsibilities of the board. So we highly encourage anyone running or pondering a future as a school board member to attend. However, if you can't attend next week on May 21st, the ISBA, or the Indiana School Boards Association, is also conducting school board candidate webinars, and the next 2 are on May 22nd and June 13th. I highly would encourage you to attend both, the in-person and the ISBA webinar. And so sign up. You can sign up on the ISBA website online to attend one of their webinars. Graduation will take place on our last student day on May 23rd at the Indiana Coliseum. And so we look forward to celebrating our seniors at Carmel High School on that evening. It's always a great evening. My advice to parents, if you're listening for graduation, go early because traffic will get busy, and especially with all the construction in the area, head down as early as possible to the Indiana Coliseum down at the State Fairgrounds. And our bell ringer for tonight's board meeting. Last week was the official Teacher Appreciation Week, but it is never a wrong time to appreciate our teachers. So our teachers are the backbone of this district, tirelessly supporting our students and creating an environment where they can thrive. Without their passion and commitment, we simply could not do what we do. And so thank you to all of our amazing teachers for their unwavering dedication to our students and our families, and for creating a safe and supportive place and space where they can grow, learn, and succeed. Teachers, you truly make a difference in the lives of our students, and for that, we are immensely grateful. And that concludes tonight's report. Thank you.
Thank you. I just have a couple announcements and we'll get out of here. As Dr. Ostrike said, next Tuesday at 10 a.m., I believe, 10 to 11:30 a.m. here, we are going to have our prospective school board candidate, like a seminar? Yes. And then next Thursday is the last day of school. I don't know if the parents are going to cheer or groan or whatever you decide.
I heard cry in the audience.
Cry, groan. But it is also graduation. That's next Thursday, May 23rd. May 27th is Memorial Day, so all CCS offices and schools are closed. Our next meeting is June 10th. That's our school board workshop session. June 19th is another date that all CCS offices and schools are closed for the Juneteenth holiday. And then our second June school board meeting is June 24th for our regular session meeting. With that, can I have a motion to adjourn? May I have a second? Meeting adjourned.